What's another really important stat to dig into that people gloss over?
First serve percentages. Most typically the club player, they crush the first ball and dink the second ball. Most all of our challenge matches are one serve only. So you're forced to develop a level 2 serve. Like level 1 is hard, you can hit it and hope it goes in. Level 3 is your dink serve. With one serve only, you're forced to develop medium speed serves that they can't kill, but you can get in play. So look at first serve percentages, and even on the tour, if you're down around 60%, it's kind of tough to win your serve. But as a club player, you can get your percentages really go up at the club level versus on the pro level. I think too often we focus on the pro level results and the statistics from the pros versus what really happens at club level play too.
Well, and there's the psychological aspect of it, because people are more scared of your first serve than your second serve, even if there's not a huge disparity in how hard it's hit. It's generally true. I think there are very few outliers where somebody's points won on second serve are anywhere close to their points won on first serve.
Right.
Craig O'Shaughnessy talks a lot about the very small variance in first serve win percentages over the ages, that always around 72%.
Right.
Some years when big servers are dominating, it might go up to 73 or 74. In an era where there are more grinders, then it's going to be closer to 70. It's in 73.
Here's the typical way that a junior player thinks. My son's he's a good college player, and he misses a lot of first serve. And I said, why don't you hit your second serve first? He says, they'll kill it, Dad. And I said, no, they don't know how big you're going to hit it, but they know you're going to hit your second serve softer. So that's when you got to worry about. But somehow it doesn't make sense that you hit your second serve or get a serve in play without trying to kill the ball first.
Yeah, here's something that came out of the research from CompuTennis. They did a comparison between Becker and Chang. And I think most people would say Becker was more effective on serve. But in reality, it was Chang. Becker would serve about 50% first serves in play and win 80% of those points for an efficiency of about 42%. Right? But then on the remaining 50% of second serve points, Becker also had a higher winning percentage. Chang, on the other hand, would serve 75% and win win about 70% of those points, but then also he had a higher percentage of points won on second serve because his game was so much more based on defense. If Chang hadn't served close to 75% of first serves in, then it would be nowhere near that. But by a very small margin, Chang was more efficient on serve than Becker.
But we're always impressed by power and speed. Do you want a Priya or a Corvette? Corvette, man. It's faster and got more power.
Yeah, so there's definitely like a tortoise and the hare kind of a mentality towards winning matches. And like Vic Braden used to say, that same old boring winner.
Yeah.
But I don't think he necessarily meant a screaming shot that went past their opponent. I think he meant playing in a way that won the match. I know that when I learned to become a lot more conscious about reducing errors, then that my game went up a lot. And in my coaching with high school kids, I always tell them, it's probably about 5 times more likely that you can reduce the amount of errors you make in the match than it is that you can increase the amount of winners or forcing shots.
One of my friends, Julian Hine, was talking to my son about that because in college they play no hand scoring. And my son was saying, I keep hitting on those deuce points, and the ball hits the net all the time. He says, on the deuce point, you want to get the ball up high enough and put the pressure on the other player because you're fast anyhow. You don't need to be going for big shots. But his perception is it's a big point. It's a deuce. It's a win the game point. I better go big. And Julian was trying to convince him. He says, no. When I played college, he said, I beat a lot of guys because on deuce points, I made sure I got the ball up and kept the ball in play rather than trying to go for the winning shot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a case to be made for if you are an incredibly offensive skilled player
Sure.
you might want to still play offensively on those. Play true to your game. At the same time, you might take it down a notch, when it's all on the line. Because I see kids who go all of a sudden non-aggressive, and then they tighten up because they're so afraid to miss that they actually lose points to people who don't have as much offensive firepower as they do. So there's sort of a dice roll to it. All the points that came before that are so important. Something happens to make 3 points won by each side. However you won your 3 points in that game, play that way.
Sure.